Sit down, honey. So what are you going to ask me?
Do you remember our first date?
I do remember our first date. Our first date was awesome. He actually went to pick me up, and we went to Starbucks. I don't like coffee, so I had a hot caramel apple cider, which was amazing. We went to the airport and watched the planes fly in, and we talked. And then he took me to the mall, and we played car racing arcade games, because that was when arcades were really popular. And we had like an awesome night. So.
And she threw in a little while ago when we were talking about our first date that she remembers winning the car game race. So.
I did win the car races. I can't say I won much after that, but I did win initially. So, do you remember the date we had most recently?
Yeah, we went. We got a restaurant out our way, the Brasserie, and it's one of our favorite restaurants. It's just a quaint, quiet little place, and the wait staff remembers us time and time again. But it's an awesome place that we get to go. Just to be alone. I mean, you're with other people in the restaurant, but it really is. It's a very romantic getaway that we like to do once in a great while.
So I want to ask you guys a question. Do you remember your first date with your spouse or significant other? When was your most recent date? How important is dating in your married life? I'm Denise.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is the second to last episode in our series, Our Secrets for a Healthy...
Boo!
We're still going to come back once a week and do these, but they won't be every day like we have been doing because there's only so much we can talk about. So what we want to talk about is dating. And dating is important in your marriage, whether you've been married for 6 months, 6 years, or even 50 years.
Look, dating is something that we got to do. There's nothing more important than showing your significant other, your spouse, that you want to carve out that time for her and take her out and make her feel special. And we talked about that restaurant briefly that we go to. It doesn't have to be an expensive date, guys. And that's something that I used to think it had to be this big production, and it really doesn't. It can be such a simple thing, but it's being intentional about setting that time. I know a lot of you have kids and are tremendously busy. However, don't say, well, we'll try to find the time, because that's not intentional. You have to carve it out. If you have to get a sitter, get a sitter. If you have to wait, to get a family member to help, do what you got to do, but carve out that time for your spouse to show her that you really do care. And like I said, it can be anything. Go for a hike, go for a walk, play a card game, do something different, something maybe outside of the box, or something that, your spouse would like to do, and find out. You got to listen. You got to listen to her needs and be receptive and responsive to what she likes to do. I'm going to let you in on a little thing, and the next date night that we're going to have is something that I normally wouldn't have even, it's not even a date night, it's a date, because we'll do it during the day. I don't even know if this place would be open, but there's a small antique shop that we drive by from time to time. And a couple times we've driven by and Denise has commented on like the old bottles that they had on the front porch, or just some of the neat old antique stuff. And so we're going to go there and check it out and maybe get her a couple old antique bottles, which I know she likes that kind of stuff. But that's not something I would ever think of doing. I mean, I know I'm going to have a good time there because it just sounds cool, but I'm not the kind of guy that's like, let's go antique shopping. Like, it's just not, it's not what I do, but I'm going to do it now because she likes to do it. So make sure you carve out that time. Make sure that, you make your spouse feel special. And like I said, it can be anything. Just make a date to go have a picnic or go for a walk or something, anything. Go to the movies, go get a coffee, or if she doesn't drink coffee, get a tea. If you don't drink coffee and you're a guy and you're weird, go get a tea. I don't know, do something, but just get, no, I'm joking. Coffee drinkers are cool though. So,
I want to say this to the ladies too, though. Just because we're ladies doesn't mean that we can't plan a date night. And I have to admit, I am not very good at planning date nights. But we were talking earlier, and what I would like to do for him is take him on a road trip, because he loves road trips. And we have this restaurant in Vermont that we love to go to. And I think we're going to go there, and I am going to choose a night and say you should get all dressed up and wear your Coca-Cola shirt. And I'm kidding. And
wait, what?
People love your Coca-Cola shirt. So here's the thing. It's just important to spend time together, but get away from everything. If you have kids, if you have dogs like we do, you got to get away from them. Just time to be with each other, and just remember what it was about that person that made you fall in love with them. Laugh with them, have a good time. And like he said, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Nope. It doesn't have to mean you don't have to travel to another country. You can go down the road and sit in a coffee shop and just reminisce.
Yep.
It's my best friend.
This is mine, and it doesn't take a lot of planning. It takes just set a goal, set a day, get a sitter, get whoever you got to get to help out. If you got kids, if you don't, make the time. Don't say that you're too busy. You know, like we've said before, time is short. Make the most of what you have with your spouse. And just because I like something doesn't mean that she likes it. So make sure that you ask your spouse, you know, what is your, and it's okay. I don't care if you've been married 10 years. Ask, hey, what would you like to do for a date? What's something that would really get you jazzed up? And find out and then act on it. And then, I mean, there's so many things to do out there. There's so many things, just in our area of New York that we're in, there's so many activities that you can do with your spouse. So,
and put a heart on your calendar and put date night to look forward to it. Another just quick thing you can do is you can surprise your spouse. Like our anniversary, I think it was last year, I love picnics, and I've hinted about picnics, and he wasn't getting the hint for like ever.
It took a while.
It took a while. It was like, I love a picnic. I love a picnic. There was no picnic. But he actually picked me up on the ATV, and he made a little picnic out in our hunting cabin, and it was really romantic and sweet. And it doesn't take much with me. I wasn't kidding. The fun dip, if you guys remember earlier, it's not a lot of money. It's the thought that counts. So let your spouse know you love them and plan a date night. You guys have a great night, and we will see you soon.